Hi guys, my name is Emily, and today I'm going to be doing a requested video. So on Twitter, Alexander asked me to do a video talking about books I have a love-hate relationship with. So I have collected 5 books that I have a love-hate relationship with for various reasons. So, starting with Woman on the Edge of Time by Marge Piercy. This is a book that I have read twice. This is a book that I have gotten very different things out of both times, and the reason I love and hate it is that it makes me angry. Basic plot synopsis. There's a woman named Connie who is wrongly, in her opinion, admitted to a mental hospital and experimented on. So much of the book focuses on the medicalization of women's bodies, the medicalization of people of color, how all sorts of intersecting identities result in someone's body not being valued. It's very frustrating to read how Connie is treated, how her body is devalued, how she's experimented on, how other patients are experimented on, and like they're treated like toys. And because they are mentally ill, however you want to define that, how they are defining it is very loose. The one person in the I want to say prison. The one person in the mental institution is actually just very passionate about her religion, and her religion happens to be Wicca, or goddess worship. She believes that she's a witch, and so they imprison her for it. But she's just passionate about her religious beliefs. And then Connie is thought to be violent, but from the incident that we see at the beginning of the book, we're not so sure if Connie really is as violent as they say. So all of these people, because they're deemed mentally ill, don't have control to say yes and no to these procedures. It's their families that say yes and no. And of course, the procedure is marketed as, do you want this person to get better? Let us try this. And so the families, of course, say yes, not asking the actual patients themselves. The patients are no longer allowed to give consent, and I found that so frustrating to read, because obviously we are reading the story from Connie's point of view, we are in her head, and she believes that she is not sick. So we believe that she is not sick, and so it seems like a real injustice what's being done to her. I love it because it makes me think about all of these things, and I hate it because it makes me angry and frustrated. The second book that I have a love-hate relationship is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Yes, intake of breath, gasping and all of that, yes, I had an issue with specifically the epilogue. I really enjoy the Harry Potter series. I make that sound like it's not a thing. I do really enjoy the Harry Potter series. I'm using it for my thesis. That's how much I love it. I want to study this. I've taken courses on Harry Potter and children's literature, so I've studied this a lot. I've read it many times for pleasure, and as much as I love the series, I hate the epilogue, / the fact that J.K. Rowling keeps updating us, giving us information that is not in the physical text. Like, when I first read this, I appreciated the epilogue. The more I read it, the less I like the epilogue, and I wish there wasn't one. I wish it was open-ended. I wish we didn't know, like, all these children and, like, the next generation stuff. I wish the series had just been left after the last battle. The epilogue frustrates me. So, love the series, hate the epilogue. Which is probably an unpopular opinion, but it's my opinion. The third book that I have a love-hate relationship with is actually a series. It's the onna duology. Now, this book I really, really loved. I have a review talking about the 3 things that I loved about the series, and then I have filmed a review of the second book talking about my issue with the ending of this book and my issues with this book entirely. So, without any spoilers, this book has a really unique, really badass lady character who comes into a position of power, right up my alley in terms of my thesis and my research interests. The problem is, again, without spoiling anything, the ending. The very conclusion of this novel does something incredibly problematic that then gets carried forward into this book, and that problematic... This is so hard without spoiling it. The issue that I have with the ending of the book drives the plot of this book, really. And so what could have been really cool is just a mess. I basically love the first book up until the ending, and then the rest of the series just ruins it. So love, hate. The fourth book that I have a love-hate relationship with is John Green's The Fault in Our Stars. So, this, again, I have done essays on, I have studied, I have researched a little bit, and my issue with The Fault in Our Stars is with appropriation of voice. I have issues with appropriation of voice in general, and I struggle with that a lot whenever I'm reading something, and it was requested that I do a video talking about my essay and my thoughts on this book, and one day I will do that. Hopefully over the Christmas break when I have a little more time to film, I will sit down and I will unpack this text and the reasons that I have issues with appropriation of voice. So, that is the hate part. The love part is that it's a really cute story, it's something that I can go to if I want to cry, because sometimes it's nice to cry, and having a crying book is a kind of guilty pleasure of mine. So I love the story, even though it's completely ridiculous. Like, the love that they have is completely ridiculous and over the top, and they are way too smart. But it's a guilty pleasure read that I also have a lot of problems with. So this is basically like doing an unpopular opinions book tag, I guess. My fifth and final book that I have a love-hate relationship with is Judith Butler, Gender Trouble. So if you want to do anything in academia involving questioning gender, or gender as a performance, or gender not being a natural thing, gender as a social construct, you have to engage with Judith Butler. I love her ideas. I love how they apply to basically everything that I want to study. I am relying heavily on Judith Butler for a certain section of my thesis at this point. It is not, however, an enjoyable experience reading. I don't read theory for fun. I read theory because it is necessary to talk about the things that I want to talk about in a scholarly way. You have to, right? That's the whole point of university, is to see what else is out there and engage with it and build on the work of others. Find your niche and build on the work of others. While I recognize the importance of theory, I don't enjoy reading theory just for shits and gigs. I love the ideas, I love that I get to engage with this, but I am not looking forward to rereading it. So there's a love-hate relationship with this material and with Judith Butler's work. With any theorist's work, for that matter. Those are the 5 books that I have a love-hate relationship with. Alexander, I hope this answers your question. So let me know in the comments below if any of these books make it onto your love-hate relationship book list. And if not, let me know a book that you have a love-hate relationship with. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!